Hello, I'm Kristen Lee. So I'm going to review a new cookie to me, and I am also going to give a really quick Cliff Notes version of the Depp versus Heard case, just because it's something that I've been doing daily and I've been following it. Like, I've been following it for the last couple of years, so to finally have it come forward and everything that we have been speculating with the different communities that I have joined, kind of, it sounds like a cult, but it's not. But like everything from the Aquaman petition to just finding YouTubers and social media platforms that were able to get the information out there before it was taken down. A lot of them have had copy strikes, or they've had to shut down their Twitter account or whatever because Heard's team has gone after them because she was said they were bots or that they were paid by Depp or all these other things. And it's like, no, he has a fan base that is sticking by him while he's going through this, and it's just, for me as a woman, I could never do the things that she's done. I couldn't do it. Even at my pettiest, I just could not do what she's done. So the review part, this way, if you want to click off and you don't want to listen to, I think we're going to be on day 8 come Monday. Anyway, so I figured for all the fake evidence that's been put on, I have a fake cookie. I have a gluten-free Oreo. I was doing like healthier options of other things and trying to bring my sugar intake down and the amount of carbs and things like that to try and regulate and get to a healthier me. And my dad was like, well, they have gluten-free Oreos and you love Oreos, especially around your time of the month, and it's double stuffed. I was like, all right. So I was like, all right, well, I'll just mix it with my Depp versus Heard, and you gotta have the milk. Okay. Fingers crossed it tastes like an Oreo. Not bad. The filling's the same. It's the cookie that's different. There is 140 calories in 2 cookies. So I wonder if it's the same as the other ones. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't know if I'd buy it again after I'm done eating it. So, I don't know. Not bad. Not bad for a snack. All right. So, that was my review. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Like if you were trying to go gluten-free, but you wanted some comfort foods that you would be missing, and Oreos is one of those like on your list, then I'd say go for it. Wasn't horrible. I just like Oreos better. So, all right. So I have some notes from the case. Give me a second to get my head around what I want to say. Okay, let's try that again. So I have notes for day 3 and day 4, and then Johnny Depp has been on the stand since. He was able to give his testimony. And he's still in cross-examination. And then I think his team has time to redirect a lot of the loopholes that Amber's team has been going into. So day 3, Kate St. James is an ex-personal assistant of Amber Heard's. She was absolute just fire. She was angry. She did not want to do this again. She did testify in the UK, but her story has stayed the same throughout both trials and whenever she's been asked about it. She was her personal assistant prior to their relationship, so she got to see how Amber Heard changed to mimic Johnny Depp's personality and some of his style traits and things like that, and felt comfortable enough to share a traumatic situation that happened to her, and Amber Heard has spoken on it as if it happened to her, not Kate St. James. So she's a little upset about that. And then you find out how much she was getting paid, and I would have walked. I really would have, but I think she was afraid that she would not get a good enough background review or whatever, or that Amber would do what she's doing and either talk bad about her or blackmail her. So she didn't want to leave. Anyway, so she was on, and then they had a psychologist / marriage counselor. Very vague answers. I mean, I don't know whether HIPAA is brought into effect when people are doing depositions. And it was this one, I think this whole week, this whole day, not week, this whole day was taped depositions. It was really boring. Super, super boring, but it's a court case. It's supposed to be boring. But she gave vague answers. She said that the fighting was mutual, but Amber did start all of the fights. And then after she was done, Johnny Depp's close friend Gina, who is married to another close friend of his that works in the entertainment industry, she got struck from the record. Her whole testimony was taken off the record because she admitted to following the case before testifying. And how they found out about that, I'll get back to you. But then they had Dr. Kipper, which was the doctor that helped Johnny throughout his detox. He was the rehabilitator, and he had a nurse also working with Johnny while he was detoxing. So far, we have found that it's been Oxycontin, and alcohol. They keep throwing in the white powdery stuff, but there aren't any medical documents saying that when he took a drug test that it was in his system. But I don't know if the oxys would mess with the narcotic readout. So I don't know. I have no experience whatsoever in that. And Kipper did not come forward with a lot of that. And then Amber's girlfriend Eve had been on her device. That was what we couldn't figure out for day 3, and I believe day 4. We could not figure out how Eve was on her laptop. because there was a document that went out that said that no one is allowed to be on devices inside the courtroom. And we're like, okay, well, maybe she's research for the lawyer team. And then she's considered paid, part of the team. And then we found out she wasn't. So, but she was the one that caught the friend Gina in a lie, and she's the one that brought it forward. And it was like they all huddled and then they ran. It was crazy. So I'm gonna go over day 4 and then I'll push through the rest of it. All right, day 4. I missed a chunk of it because I slept in. They had the nurse, Debbie Lloyd, who was Johnny Depp's rehabilitation nurse.
What I meant to say was that by the time I caught up
she was
to
with
the court
him
case
before
Debbie Lloyd
Pirates
was on,
5 came out.
I missed the other people before that.
Nothing new came from her testimony at all. Yeah, and she was a good witness because it was yes or no, or I don't recall. Instead of elaborating or trying to give context to anything, she was really there because she was subpoenaed and because she had to. So she kept her answers very yes, no, I don't recall. So that took a big chunk of the day. And then Johnny's bodyguard, Sean Bett, took the stand. Now, he used to work for LAPD. And he's the one that took a lot of Johnny's photos when the fights would get too much. And he actually had physical damage on his body. He's the one that took pictures of his finger when it was cut off. He's the one that took the pictures of his face when she had punched him or scratched him or whatever. So, I was kind of hoping that he would take a piece of Debbie Lloyd's testimony and just keep it yes, no, I don't recall. Especially because he was a police officer that is a bodyguard now. So he knows how giving testimony should be. And he kept trying to elaborate. So they kept getting objections for hearsay because there was no way to prove unless it actually happened to him. So, he ended the day saying that the last fight that Amber and Johnny had, Amber did not have any marks defending herself the last day that he removed Johnny from the argument that they had, where Johnny basically said, I want a divorce. I'm out. I'm done. So that's how it ended. And one of the best parts of the day was there was an alpaca. I'll put the picture up because it made my day. There were 2 alpacas with signs that said justice for Johnny. So it just was awesome. So let me hold on one second. One more time. I keep getting tongue-tied how I want to say what I want to say. But after day 4, Johnny took the stand. He got to testify with his team first and basically state why everybody's there and why he feels that this is important. And he feels that his side and his words were never heard. And this was the only way to get them out there. That he has been saying since day 1 that he did not hit his ex-wife. So he kind of had to give a lot of background to have foundation of, his childhood upbringing, very similar stories to what his sister Christy said. It felt like you were peeping Tom or seeing something or hearing something that really isn't your business to know, unless you are friends or family with that person and they want to share it with you and they trust you. But to have these things come out not only in a public court but also in the press, and he's a very private man, and the fact that he's had to go through this is just, it's sad. But yeah, he explained, when he started using substances and drinking and his struggle with sobriety, that he was basically clean all the way up until Pirates 4, when he started, I believe it was Oxycontin. I believe it was that. And he was prescribed it because there's a scene in the movie where he had to lift this really heavy chair and throw it through a window, and he pulled something. He pulled his sciatica. Anyway, not relevant, but it's why he was prescribed the drugs and he just abused it. So anyway, he basically has let his whole life go out there. And then Herd's team came with the cross. Oh, that was the other thing. Anytime that Johnny was talking about a story, to give context and saying, okay, well, I was with 3 people and this person said to me, there would be an objection about hearsay, because it was, or if he read a text, it was hearsay. And he was like, but if the person is speaking to me and I heard them and I was there, but a couple of times the hearsay was right, because he was talking about a third person story that finally got to him, like Poopgate. And if you've been on my social, I've been putting them out there because some of the memes are perfect. But and if you don't know what Poopgate is, there is a discrepancy in the evidence that I think it was the day after Amber Heard's 30th birthday party. She was angry because Johnny was late to the party because he had just found out that he had lost $650 million of his hard work through 30 years of being in the movie industry and just the entertainment industry, and the money was gone. It happened to him. It happened to a few other celebrities, and he came home and told her, and the next day, I guess, she pooped in the bed and the maid found it. And the discrepancy is Heard is saying that their Yorkshire teacup terriers did this thing, and if you've seen the pictures, it's this massive, there's no way, even if the dog was sick. It needed to be a bigger dog. Anyway, it's not relevant, but I find it funny because she is so adamant about it, and there's a story to cover up, that story, but she had told this person and this person told John, and it's so dumb, but it's one of the reasons why they're there, because she's a liar and she lies about stupid crap. Literally. So anyway, so cross exam came, and it's been tough. And the panel that I've been following, they've had I'm going to say real lawyers, but actual lawyers come on the panel to kind of talk to the chat to let us know, what is a typical situation in a courtroom, because a lot of us, I grew up on Judge Judy and Law and Order and that kind of stuff. But that's all I really know about it. I don't know the inner workings of it. So that was cool to have them there. But they were like, just remember, you're not going to like what they have to say. Don't react to it. Don't go to social media or whatever and put hate or any kind of threatening things out there, because it can come back and damage the case because of your reaction and your actions. So I thought that was really cool, that the panel that I've been watching with Come Geek Some, Dr. Soup. I'll link them all below. I can't remember everybody. But yeah, so anyway, Cross happened, and you get to, so Cross is trying to portray Amber Heard as this loving person, right? And their evidence, it shows contrary to popular belief kind of thing, because there was an audio, he was, I think, day 2 or day 3 of detox during his treatment, and she recorded him, and he sounds like a dying animal, which most people that are going through detox sound like. And not once did she try and comfort him. She didn't, nothing. It was just listening to him moan in pain, and it was just horrible. And they put the TMZ video in, where a lot of YouTube videos and TikToks have been putting the video in their videos to incorporate it and kind of like debunk it. TMZ has been copywriting that video, which, as far as I know, you can't do, because it's a public court thing. Once it's in evidence, it's public. It no longer belongs to them. It's now belongs to the federal government. As far as I know, I don't, like I said, I don't know all the interworkings of it. I'm hoping that we get more legal information next week, like we did last week, and they can kind of explain that part of it. But even the TMZ thing, like, it was the day after he found out that he lost $650 million, according to one of the puff pieces that they referenced in Cross. But the video, it's just him banging crap around. He wanted a drink. It was morning. He was upset. Yes, he was supposed to be sober, but I would have drank if I found out I lost that much money. I've been drunk. But she's videotaping him. And again, did not try and console him, did not try and speak to him. She basically was trying to instigate with him. She kept moving the camera so that you could see him having his little temper tantrum. And then he finds the phone. He doesn't hurt her, doesn't yell at her, doesn't push her, nothing. Throws the phone in the garbage and walks out. And then at the end, you see her smirk. So it's stuff like that. And then they talked about his severed finger, the severed fingertip, but as far as I'm concerned, ouch. Like, they showed the pictures and the fact that he had MRSA twice after that. And he has a pin in it, and he's had skin grafts done on it. No, thank you, ma'am. All because she did not want to sign the post-nuptial agreement. Nope. I would have gone for an annulment right then and there. I don't care how much I loved a person. You slice off a piece of me. I'm done. And it was his middle finger of his dominant hand, and he is a guitarist as well as an actor. So I'm like, yeah, I would have been out. That would have been out for me. What else did they talk about? Oh, the last day on Thursday, they were talking about the fact that he was so delusional after his finger was severed that he started drawing with blood and paint everywhere, because she was no longer there. And the things that he wrote, like, it wasn't that bad. I mean, was it nice? No. Is it a little kooky? Yeah, but you married Johnny Depp, so like, you should have done some research before you cut off part of his finger. But anyway, supposedly he drew a phallic eggplant on one of these paintings, and the lawyer is just like beefing it up. Like, it is the most grotesque, disgusting picture you are ever gonna see, ever. And then he's like, look at this, and it's freaking, it was writing, and he was like basically calling her a fraud or something like that. I don't even remember the picture. It's not the point. It's like, you were talking about this obnoxious, offensive painting of an eggplant, and you didn't put it out there. So, and then John, well, how do I want to word it? There was a text message between my buddy, my spirit animal, Isaac. Oops, sorry, I kicked you. Sorry. And Johnny Depp. And they're best friends. I mean, they've been best friends for decades at this point. And it was nasty. It was pretty graphic, texting, but God, don't ever come for me in my my text with my best friends. Especially when we were watching Breaking Bad and taking notes. Anyway, so the lawyer goes, okay, Mr. Depp, I want you to read this to the jury. And he's like, you want me to read this to the jury? And he's like, yes, I want you to read this to the jury so that they can hear out of your mouth the words that you wrote, kind of thing. So Johnny Depp turns to the jury and goes, look, I was going through a divorce. I'm sorry. I wasn't at my best. So then he reads it in his cool, collected, the way he talks. And the lawyer's like, and then Johnny Depp's like, okay, you read the next line. You want me to read what Isaac wrote too? And the lawyer's like, no, I'll read it. Johnny Depp's like, I don't care. I'll read it, man. It was our conversation. You want me to read it? I'll read it. And the lawyer's like, no. And it was just, Rattenborn is just, he reminds me of the brown-nosed kid with the principal. Or, the good kid, with their mom, mommy, I want to read this because it has naughty words, but I didn't say these naughty words. They were in the book. But yeah, I don't like Rattenborn at all. And it was kind of like a funny banter between him and Johnny Depp. And like I said, Johnny Depp kept his cool. A few times he would laugh and be like, dude, are you going to let me finish a sentence or whatever? And Rattenborn kept trying to psychologically push that button. And it's not court TV. Like, well, it is on court TV, but it's not made for television court TV. So, and then they left us on a really upsetting, triggering note, which was kind of playing dirty in my opinion. There was a question about self-harm, and Johnny said no, that he had never harmed himself. That if he was going to harm anything, it would be a couch. He was like, I've assaulted many a couch before, or, different things in hotel rooms or whatever. He's like, I'm not proud of it, but I have done it. And they played this audio, and it's haunting. It's absolutely vile and haunting. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I could never, at my pettiest, do what's on these recordings. If I don't like you that much, or I am being hurt verbally or emotionally by you or whatever, I leave. I would never do this. Anyway, so the audio was him saying that he was going to do self-harm, and Amber was telling him not to. Congratulations, you get a gold star for telling him not to. But then saying that knife is too dull, you're going to hurt yourself. If you're going to do it, you want to do it with something sharper. And I felt so sick. Like, this man had, he didn't have to deal with it. He really could have walked, but he chose not to because love, and he was trying to make it work. Like I said, I couldn't do it. Could never be that hateful. So it kind of left everybody on the panel and everything, because they closed the day with that, and Johnny Depp kind of teared a little bit, but it was rough to listen to. Yeah, so I'm excited to keep watching the panel that I've been watching. I'm sorry that this video is going to be a little bit longer, but I'm trying to cover 7 days. No. 3 through 7. Right? I'm losing my days. And them not having it on Friday kind of messes me up too. So. But yeah. Oh, and the other thing that's been bugging me is the fact that Amber keeps copying Johnny Depp's style. I don't get it. If you are afraid of somebody, that's an intimidating move. That's not, oh my God, I'm a victim move. So I could keep going on and on. I'm sorry that it's so long again. And I'll see you in the next one, and it'll be a happier video. I'm hoping that my book box comes. Hopefully that's my video. So I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye. One more thing. Milani Cosmetics debunked our buddy Elaine with her foundation palette, and Elaine had said that Amber Heard had used this palette throughout her relationship to cover up marks and bruising and things like that because of the DV that she was allegedly receiving. And Milani came forward in a TikTok and put it on all their socials. It has blown up the internet the last couple of days.
They didn't put it on Instagram for some reason. The
palette in Elaine's hand did not come out until 2017. And Amber Heard was already divorced and speaking on DV. So, that was a little tidbit. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.